Okay, to start with, most of you all know me. For those who do not know me, I'm Dr. Swati Patel, and I deal with the academic and the admin part of AIMMDS, and with my team we have come up with a plan for 2013-14. So basically every year as we move on, there are many things which we keep analyzing, what is getting beneficial for the students and what are the things which we need to cut off from our routine which do not seem to be that good and all that. So accordingly, we are quite dynamic in altering and modifying and updating and enhancing our plans, because ultimately it remains not to stick on to just being rigid or something. Basically the main purpose is things should be beneficial, right? So accordingly we have come up with a plan for 2013-14, and my today's session is basically I'll be telling about how we are going to cover the portions, how we are going to do the revisions, and what is the basic process we are going to adapt while we go to 2013-14 sessions. I'll also talk about, at the end, what resources we have at the website and how to correctly use those resources. So is my voice audible to all of you? It's, the loudness and all that is fine, or is there any change needed anywhere? Okay, so I'll start with it. So we have today basically an year planner which grossly tells us our distribution of time for the year. Secondly, we'll be also talking about how to use the resources and the website, because there are not many things, and many times students happen not to know a particular, use of a particular thing. So I'll be talking about that in a brief, and also talking about what to expect from whom, because there are many ways to contact back. We have our online support, we have our mail support, we have our phone support. So where exactly you contact with which kind of a problem. So it doesn't happen that you just have an MCQ and you just talk to the online chat support and ask for the answer to the MCQ. So I'll be telling about where exactly you ask what, right? So communication means and how to get your queries solved is basically the main agenda of today's class. So now when we talk about our year planner, we have a video on detailed process, how to distribute time, how to manage time, how to mark your questions and all those things. So I'll not be going there, but I'll guide you where exactly that video is and what exactly that video tells. So we have a video. Hi, good evening, Rashmi. We have a video in our recorded classes zone under the tips and tricks, which talks about how we distribute time, how we make stickies, how we mark the questions when we read, how we speed up our preparation, and it's been dealt quite a bit in details there, right? So we do have an year planner in a PDF format on the website. I'll also tell you the location of that today, okay? Now what we do, initially when we start with herein the problem comes as of orientation. Students are not exactly sure what they are supposed to read. Even if they start with a subject, they're not exactly sure, how much to read and how much not to read, what to retain in mind. Reading is fine, but how much to retain and how much to stress yourself in retaining and how much to it's fine, this is not necessary. Or to understand that part, it's very important to understand with the questions, with getting familiar with the multiple choice questions which are actually asked in the exams. So what we usually recommend in the beginning period is we keep our process of detailing with the subject a little bit more lax, so that you usually deal or divide your portions or divide your day or time into two halves. In one half you are giving a bird's eye read to the MCQ books. Yeah, good evening, Poonam. right? And when we talk about the MCQ books, we usually recommend one MCQ book at this particular span. We usually recommend either Pulse or Gauri Shankar, but my personal recommendation goes with Pulse because of its preciseness of, there is no much elaboration of the explanations here. Gauri Shankar's explanations are pretty bit much elaborated, but here what we are trying to do in this part, is just getting ourselves oriented with what kind of MCQs are asked. Meanwhile, on the other half of the time, our portion starts. That is, our lecture classes, our video classes. So, our discussion classes and our video classes starts here. Okay. Meanwhile, you will be dealing with your unit tests, your regular tests, and of course, the preparation and the discussion. So that's how it goes. So initially we start with some of the subjects. Usually we start with oral pathology, then we move on to anatomy. Why we start with oral pathology is it gives you a very good picture of, it is a very nice subject which has been dealt not too far behind. So it's like not exactly a final year subject, but still it's not exactly a long forgotten subject. So it's oral pathology somewhere in your third year. You carry it on to your final year as well with your oral medicine. And secondly, it is a subject which takes quite a bit of share in your MCQs as well. So we start with that subject that gives you a nice orientation, where to focus, what all to remember, what all to forget and all that. Okay, so that's how we go on. Now detailing of how the time has been distributed and all that, it's there, as I said in my lecture, Let's Plan Our Success. I'll show you the location of that lecture. Now to download this year planner, the direct location of year planner is given in aimmds.com. So if you're aware of, we have 3 websites. We have AIMMDS, I'm sorry about the spelling, aimmds.com. We have aimmds.org, and we have .co.in. Okay, we also have .net, which is our blog, right? Okay, out of this, when you open your aimmds.com and scroll down, you see this button over there. You just click on it, it opens a PDF which you can save on your system. You can print it for yourself. Okay, it's open for everyone. It actually is a total handout of the discussion class that is present in the video, in the recorded classes zone, and even the portion in the recorded classes zone is open for free users. So anybody just who has an account can log in and open that video, and with this handout can refer that video. If you follow this process, it really speeds up the things, and it keeps the things organized till the end. So to avoid you being panicky and all that, the first recommendation, start organized, right? So that's one thing. So download the year planner. Now how we are going to go ahead with the classes and the home link. So basically our plan this year goes this way. We have recently come up with a messaging system. So this is something new, we felt the need and we just came up with that. So rather you will suddenly not see it in your accounts. So some of you may be seeing in their accounts and some of you may not see in that account. So if you just go to your account, on the left side you will get a button saying messages or alerts. Okay, our support will be helping you out with this very soon. When you open that, there will be a message from the faculty. So what we have planned in here is, we will be giving you a portion, things to read. Okay, so it will be a message which will tell you which videos to cover. Okay, same videos will come into your account. The video recordings will come into your account, and you will be shown. You'll have these videos in your account. Secondly, you'll be also told that which MCQs to be covered and which keynotes to be read. Okay, and you will be, after that, what is the discussion class? What is the date of the discussion class? That will also be mentioned there. So that gives you a time span. Basically, it gives you a total short target of that particular zone. So you cover that portion. You watch those recordings, you watch those videos, you cover those MCQ, you read that portion of keynotes, and then in the discussion class we brief out that portion and then we revise that portion again. So actually it will give you straight away 2 rounds of revision here. Right? So your theory concept recording will not be made available at the stretch. So we don't want to baffle you with having all the recordings in your accounts and suddenly, seeing the things. We'll give you a portion of it. We'll give you, the portion to be covered in a particular time. And then in the discussion, we'll brief out that portion. We'll discuss that portion with MCQs and, elaborate it with more of the fill-ups and all kind of recap that's possible with it. Right? So that's what we'll be doing in our live online discussion classes. Right? After every class, there will be a unit test that will be a small portion evaluator test. Now this concept has been introduced in 2012-13, basically in the mid of the term. We have a very elaborative test series though, that every subject has 2 papers and full papers, 200 questions. But sometimes students feel, okay, I've read a portion and I want to evaluate that. And I don't want to, sit long through 3 hours just to evaluate that. I want a short evaluatory test. And that's where, people started talking, we need unit tests. And we started that in the mid of the session, and we felt, most of the students' feedback was pretty good. And yes, so we retained that thing. And this year we have it organized with the discussion classes, right? So that is how the basic first round will go on. So next, when we actually look at the timetable, you will notice we have 2 main series. One is AIMMDS Plus and the second is Comprehensive. Both the series go on till the end. I'll tell you the difference as well amongst both the series, right? So when we look at these series, it actually starts from 8th December. By that particular time, what we expect is we want your bird's eye view of your MCQ book plus your, orientation with the classes. You're picking up the speed with the classes gets fine. So you will be able to, that's okay, Saili. So you will be able to basically cover up the portion and, you will be able to come into the space with how the classes are going on. And your approximately 2 or 3 subjects will be dealt with that particular time. So you'll not be panicky with these. So at this particular time, remember I had divided the portion into 2 halves. In one half, we were going with MCQ book. And in this half, we were actually dealing with the classes and the discussion. Isn't it? So now this MCQ book reading, a bird's eye reading usually gets over. So at this particular time, what happens, our classes and discussion goes on and your third revision. Remember, we were doing 1 reading on depending on the target given and the second discussion we had in the class. So we were kind of able to give 2 rounds of revision there. Your third revision starts with reading for this. You consider it third or you consider it second, but here it starts with reading for the test, the main test. Every subject usually has 2 tests depending on the size of the subject, right? So if the subject is broad, wide, it has 2 tests. If the subject is, can be dealt in 1 week, it has 1 test, and depending on that, the tests are classified. So classes go on one side, and one side you have a revision going on for the second subject. Basically what happens is, how to divide the portion is a thing that has been dealt in Let's Plan Our Success. I'll stick on not to go about that. Okay, but basically what we believe is when you linger into one subject for the whole week, it creates a lot of stress in the mind that I'm doing one subject, and in the back end of the mind you have something thinking that, okay, there are 19 subjects, in my portion. How will I revise all those subjects? So that to deal with the back end and to deal with, monotonous thing of reading one subject, we always recommend reading 2 subjects. Now it comes to week, 7 days, or you consider 6 days. Now week can be divided into this way, that in one half of the day you read one subject, or second half of the day you read other subject, depends. Or you can also divide the week this way, wherein 3 days you read one subject and 3 days you read other subjects. Of course, we keep the room for the flexibility, wherein, one subject is taking more time, you can give 1 day to that subject, and that flexibility is, it's yours. So you can take that. Ultimately, basically what we are trying to do is achieve smaller aims, right? So we don't want a big chunk of AIMMDS. We don't say that, okay, complete 19 subjects in 6 months. If somebody says that, it feels okay, 6 months are there, but 19 subjects, now remains the task of dividing them and when to do what. So we are actually taking up all that task. You just follow the instructions. Okay, only thing you have to do is do that very thoroughly. Okay, and let me tell you, the instructions gonna be very real. They're gonna be very real. They're gonna be very achievable. Right? We'll be having buffer times in between. Especially for people starting now, it's very possible for going ahead and following the schedule and doing it and revising it, and all that is possible. It will really reduce the stress at the end. Right? So hopefully you understand how the process is. So we start with giving you a portion in your account as a message that gives you what videos you will be covered. Every video has a timing given there. So you can say if 4 topics are given, how much time that particular video is gonna take is exactly known. Right? So if it's a 33-minute video or a 20 minutes video or a 45 minutes video, exactly you know how much time it's gonna take. Other than that, when we just say keynotes reading along with that, we all know how much content keynote has and how much time usually it takes. We're going to give you a range of time for that as well. Then it comes to reading MCQs. When MCQs are cut down to a particular portion, they seem really easy. All you have to do is make use of this easy time so that at the end, when the thing starts getting tough, these preparations really help. Okay, these smaller chunks, they join up to make a big, huge preparation. So if you could do that. When we talk about the pre-test is a term given to our discussion classes. Now I have been talking about our main test series, which has 200 questions and which does have all the explanations and all that. So pre-test is a discussion class that is held one day before the test. Okay, so we don't stop the discussion over here to be held after the test. The discussion is held one day before the test. That gives you, it's a human tendency. When you actually have given off the test, you stop reading. But if you have a discussion before the test and you get a time of 12 hours or 24 hours after that, to prepare more, well, that 24 hours becomes very productive. So we have a pre-test discussion class wherein we discuss the MCQs related to the topic that will be asked in the test. Then again you get 12 to 24 hours to prepare for the test and then you appear the test. Right? That's how it goes. Tests have all the explanations. We recommend reading all those explanations and cross-checking your tests and all that. After that, you have a choice to reach us with your doubts onto the forum and whatever various means are there, as I'll be telling you out. Does it all sound okay? Is there anything like any suggestions, anything which you felt was not fine with this plan, or you feel this is okay? Anything? It's fine to contradict me. One very good thing about us is it's fine when you say no, this is not the right way. You should actually try to do this, or you should try to do that. So we do consider it, we do give it a thought, and we do discuss it, right? And if it's really a good recommendation, we do try to adapt it. All depends on the feasibility and understanding. Yeah, we start the class in, we will be getting the first message in 2 days and within 3 days of that. So you have your next class today is 9th. Yeah, approximately on next Monday or Tuesday. Basically the revision series for 2012-13 is going on. 2012-13 revision series is going on. And when we start with till day end, our classes fall between the dates, they don't have classes. Okay, all the revision, all the 12-13 classes are open, 13-14 classes are also open to students of 12-13 because it does give them also a nice edge for the upcoming exam. And revision classes are open for those who have joined or are joining for comprehensive, 13, 14. Can I know your name so that I can address you? It's PRT77. Preeti? Guessing. Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Preeti, right? Nice guess, isn't it? So that's what works in MCQs as well. Okay, Preeti. So basically, when we talk about biochemistry, why you feel biochemistry has to be given more time is because of the fact that you are scared of the subject and you are kind of not aware and not much familiar with that subject. Okay, that's why you feel that biochemistry has to be given more time. Now, it's not based on your weightage or the MCQs coming from that particular subject. It's basically time needed for you to grasp that subject to reach at least that minimum expertise. Now, I don't know if you have gone through our classes. Let me tell you, our biochemistry classes, we have dealt with very basics. We started with rather amino acids, its structure, its carbohydrates, its protein. It's very basic structure with every cycle understanding it. Probably, the T-Siley, you people would have been there. So, so that particular thing, we will be taking care of your concepts. So as far as time given now, you will be having very defined time exactly. How much is the video for? It's 30 minutes, it's 40 minutes. So we'll be giving you, it wouldn't be taking more time as compared to the other subjects. Let me tell you. Your subjects which will be taking more time of yours will be the vaster subjects. The ones which have more MCQs, ones which have more theory, that comes under your periodontics, your orthodontics, your oral surgery, your general medicine probably, which are wider. Your microbiology, pharmacology, but not just because something is tough. That will not take more time. Something that needs more of a revision. Something that needs more of a retaining. For example, something that needs you to read it more times for you to retain it. The best example probably would be microbiology and pharmacology, which usually take more time because you need to revise them more often. Right now you may find biochemistry tough, right? So, but yes, let me assure you, as you go through it, you'll start feeling it quite comfortable. Biochemistry, I'm sure you're going to feel it comfortable. It's not that bad. Okay? So, similarly, basically, what happens is, there are two zones of any subject when we talk about. One is concept. Okay, concept is necessary because you're not able to build anything above it until you have your concepts clear, right? After the concepts, there is detailing necessary for you to solve maximum number of MCQs. Once you have your concepts base fine, then it becomes very easy for you to detail out the things. For example, you know how the heart works. Let me give you a simplest example. You know the physiology of heart, right? Now, if you add up any pathology, if you just add up, okay, we talk about mitral stenosis or mitral regurgitation or any particular thing, and we add any extra new information to it. Oh, one gene causes this particular thing, and then this causes that. Now, what you have to remember is just that gene or just that particular thing, so it becomes easy to build a framework over the concept. So that's what is the total process we follow, isn't it? So that's what we believe. And after that, what happens is when you start detailing out, there's no limit to detailing. Many a times you will see that, I have read so much, but still there's a question that pops up and, hi Saurabh, good evening. There's a question that pops up that is totally out of the way, that's totally new. And when you read about it, you are able to understand it. I don't say that you're not able to understand it. You're able to understand it because your concepts are fine. So that's the basic role of concept that helps you grasp any new information very quickly. Okay, so your first total preparation will be grounded on concepts, right? And as we go on, you will notice in pre-test and in our discussion in our revision classes, sometimes we pull in the questions which have not been discussed in theory, Why do we pull in those questions? Why do you feel that, this has not been done in theory? Because they are those plugins. We try to plug in those extra information with our discussion classes. Okay, now many of our students are here who are going through the revision sessions, isn't it? You would have noticed there are some new, every time you get a new information even in the revision sessions, isn't it? So many times we even discuss new, and what happens is we don't stop at MCQ. Yeah, if the MCQ is fine, if it just have an explanation which you all know, fine, we just, fine, you're okay with that, we'll move on to the next one. But if an MCQ has a concept that, needs to be added, we do that, even till the end. So that's how it is done. So basically we have the grounds of our concepts and then we start building our things. Right? So that's how it goes. So, and regarding the test and all, there are ample of tests to evaluate you, and I don't think so that's any shortage of tests or anything. And time distribution per subject, if you follow the schedule, there's no need for you all to think about, how much time more to a particular subject, and are you cutting down time onto the another subject. Okay, is there anything else, any other concerns or anything with regards to this one? Then I'll show you how we'll move on to probably the revision and all those things. Preeti, is that fine with you? Okay, so this is how our pre-test starts, and with that we have, so when you just follow thoroughly with this timetable, when we reach the end of our subject-wise coverage in this series, you actually would have done 2 thorough rounds of revision. One whole with the concepts, and the second round you should have covered 2 thorough coverage should be done. Right? After that, here we start the revision, and from here the difference between AIMMDS Plus and Comprehensive starts. So let me actually clarify that point very clearly. That doesn't mean that AIMMDS Plus classes end here, or the revision series starting. That doesn't mean AIMMDS Plus is ending. So you would have seen, I'll just clarify how it goes. So AIMMDS Plus, and we have Comprehensive. Okay, how it goes is, there is one series that starts with AIMMDS Plus. Okay. When we come to revision, we call it a revision series. This is a point of entry for many students who wants to join in for the revision. But here our AIMMDS Plus continues with section 1, section 2. Section 1, section 2 are subject-wise papers with distributed, basics and the clinicals covered. After that it has, the mock exams. Around 9 to 10 mock exams, and before every of this exam there is a discussion classes held for those with virtual classes. I mean the course with virtual classes, before every test there will be a pre-test, right? That's how AIMMDS Plus discussion classes go till the end. But when we talk about comprehensive, what happens is, in revision series, along with these there is an added subject wise. For example, we have OPath radio, we have an DADH, isn't it? So there is like, one more added subject here. So there are around total, a week divides into 2 halves, and there is one subject wise and one full portion. For AIMMDS Plus it goes full portion discussion classes. There are pre-test, there are discussion classes, it goes till your exam, but the subject-wise discussion goes missing here, which is a part of comprehensive. Okay, so hope I'm clear with what is different between AIMMDS Plus and comprehensive. Or is there any concerns with that? Right? Because although it has been discussed quite in details in FAQs, but many a times that's one confusing part. What's the difference between the two? Why do you have those 2 series? Why do we have those 2 series? There are 2 types of approach. There is one approach wherein there is one approach wherein student wants to have more and more of discussion at the end. There are students who are fine with somebody else discussing things with them, isn't it? So, but there are students who at the end would rely more on their visual way of revision rather than going on to discussion. Okay, so that's the two group of students. So these two give a choice to those students, what kind of category you fit into. So would you like the things to be decided more, discussed more, or would you like the revisions to be done on your own with discussion cutting down to a little less? Okay, so hope I'm clear with what's different between, yeah, you are disturbing me. That's fine, that's fine. Okay, basically, he disturbed me a lot in class as well. Okay, so this is how a revision series looks like, and it's same as this year as well. So, there is on one side you have revision papers, and on the other side you have mock papers, and this mock papers are also included in AIMMDS Plus. So, comprehensive has these side paper extra. Now, this is a part of the snapshot. All the timetables are available on the website. So, I just took a snapshot so that I could explain what's the difference between the two. Okay, so hope I'm clear with this one, or is there any doubts with what exactly goes on? I mean, what exactly is the difference or something? Is there any doubt with that, or is it clear? Clear means CLR. Okay. Yeah, so I suppose, yeah. Now, in this, what happens is you get a third and fourth round of revision if you follow this very thoroughly. What happens? On one side, you are doing your subject-wise revision. Again, your week is divided into two halves. And on the second half, you are covering your old papers, your national boards, your medical MCQs, and all those things. So that's how it deals with, and it actually gives you a second, third, and fourth rounds of revision. And if that done thoroughly, it really prepares you well, right? So that's how it goes. Okay, so basically my PPT has not pulled up some of the word arts. So what happens to the doubts? I'll write it myself in my nice word art handwriting. Okay, doubts. Okay, what if I refer the classes and I feel that I want you to cover a particular topic? A theory which is not being dealt in the classes. I think we will have every third week we have doubt solving and added this thing, buffer classes. So what will these classes do? Meanwhile when you're will you stop talking, Saurabh, now? Okay, so that's nice though that you all feel so. But, let me just come back on this point. So basically, you will be reading looking at the videos and discussing the things and reading the MCQs. Then you realize that there is a particular concept which you need to be taught. Okay, so whenever you have such particular kind of a feeling, now our existing batch knows that. They tell us, okay ma'am, please discuss the acidosis and metabolic alkalosis and acidosis as a total separate concept, or they do tell that. And now where do we fit it is always. So what we do is we usually, now when it comes to they talking about such kind of a thing in revision, we usually fit in behind an MCQ. So we have an MCQ, and then after that we have 8 slides, discussing totally about metabolic acidosis, alkalosis. And then we start talking about an iron gap or whatever. That's how we add a concept in there. But in 2013-14, what we have done is we have kept the dedicated classes for that. So that you have a time wherein, for the portion which you have covered, you can raise a request. So we'll be, guiding you. Basically, the request will be raised on the forum. We'll be actually creating a zone where you raise a request for the particular concept coverage. We get more consensus, more student requesting for a particular concept, or even one student requesting for an important concept, which we feel, oh yeah, it's missed out. Okay, we promise that will be covered up in those particular buffer classes and the discussion classes. So now when we start with, we usually, when we start with 12-13 class batch, we do promise with 2 classes a week, but ultimately we land up doing, we don't land up counting the number of classes or hours. It's always more than what we commit, right? So that one thing, because ultimate aim is you should get what is needed, right? It's not about the count, right? So how do we solve the doubts? Now again, even after appearing for a test and appearing for a paper, you may have doubts. Now our students are definitely using up the discussion forums. I don't know if those new here have seen that. We have a discussion forum link which is seen over here, and when we go to aimmds.com, it is seen in this drop down here, right? When you click on this discussion forum, it takes you to this discussion forum over here, wherein when you actually join in, this is only for the premium members. This is not open to free members, but you can have a look at it. Free members can look at it. They cannot pose the questions here. Okay. So basically what we are trying to do here is, when in this forum, we are trying to make sure that we answer and look into all the questions, which have been posted by our students. So most of the questions we are able to deal with it then and there itself. So what we do is we just answer the questions with whatever details required, and many a times we do post the images and whatever required for students to understand. Ultimate aim is doubt clearing, right? So you all can have a look at the forum and you all can see how the interaction takes place. The existing students, of course, they know how the interaction takes place. Many a times there, when we look at the doubts posted, we realize that what are the concepts doubt posted on. We realize that, okay, there seems to be a gap in this concept. That's why the students are not able to solve these questions, isn't it? And when we sense a gap, we do try to include that particular portion in the theory discussion for the clarification again. Okay, so let me tell you, in starting from till the end, we do try to clear your concepts. There's the total focus there. And of course, we do discuss the controversial MCQs, and how we discuss that is known to our students, of course, and how much weightage to be given to a particular controversy, how much not to be given to a particular controversy, all that thing is definitely dealt with. Right? Of lately, we have created a study buddy group for 2013 12-13 batch. Now this study buddy group is a Facebook. We do not recommend, it's not necessary for you to go on to Facebook, okay? But if you are on Facebook, if you feel, okay, this is a very easy approachable, I have it on phone and I get answers very quickly on that, okay? Very problematic part about Facebook is the photographs. When you click one photo, it gives a link to the next photo, and it gives to the next photo, and it gives to the next photo, and there's no limit where you can stop. Okay, I'm a very not so getting lost kind of a person. I know myself how to control and all that. The only thing that distracts or takes more time than what I plan to give is Facebook, because it is designed to take your time. Okay, because it is designed, Facebook, people want you to spend more time on Facebook, isn't it? So, so it's not necessary that you join this group. But if you are on Facebook, this is a secret group. Okay, and to join it, you will have to request either, you have to become friends with AIMMDS or any of our faculties. My profile, Dr. Shweta, Dr. Bhavana's profile is all there on Facebook. Any of the faculty you can become friends with, and then ask the faculty to add you to the group. Okay, why this is secret? Nobody can see it, nobody can comment on it. You are, you can also post something like, okay, today I covered up this portion. It's kind of a motivation and discussion amongst your group, so that nobody is there to create any negative influences and all that. So basically what we are trying to cut off the distractions. Okay, so our already existing students are definitely, some of them are using this group, so probably they can give a feedback how they feel about that. So We have probably Shaina, we have Saurabh here, who have been using that group, isn't it? So not necessary though. Most of the time questions which are put on the group, okay, this Facebook group, we answer to that question on the forum. Basic purpose is your forum is your main official place where your discussion are supposed to be held, right? So everything is there on the forum. So if you are not on Facebook, we don't recommend you to come on Facebook. Please don't come on Facebook. It's good that you're not there, right? So it's very fine. But those who are there, you can limit yourself to a particular area so that you don't even feel that you have left out the Facebook and still you don't waste time, right? So that's one thing. And no loss. As I told Swati, what I do is after me and I rather sit with many of our people and we just post whatever. If we have some substantial discussion, we just use or put that and post it on forum. Many a times if some good question is posted, we happen to reply it on forum and we post the forum's link onto this group. Okay, so it's all about getting together. So those who feel that okay, I want to get in touch with my colleagues, my batchmates, and just discuss about it. And I'm there personally monitoring you, so I don't think so I'm gonna be allowing you to discuss something vague. Many times, if you just happen to talk about or like you go negative, or if you just feel that okay, it's putting easy questions, I do point it out, right? Okay, I'm polite in pointing it out, so don't worry about posting it still if you happen to post the easy questions, but still I do control it myself, right? Then we have this live online chat support facility which every of our visitor knows about, but let me tell you, you cannot ask MCQs there, guys. We don't have faculty sitting there. Okay, so that's one thing. Secondly, our support system, out of that we have some senior support team, and we have some of them are the junior support teams. They work on shift basis, right? So many times you may have talked to one person, right, and you may have come after 1 hour and you say that okay, I told you this, why are you asking me that again, isn't it? So that's one thing you have to understand. We have shift basis people over there. There is a possibility then that the support you have talked to is the same person you have talked to last time. Okay, but there is a possibility that you talk to somebody else, isn't it? We do have all the chat histories maintained over there, so we usually are able to look back into what you have talked to and they do try to, but most of the times they recognize the user who has been talking. So most of the time your name shows up if you have entered it before. If you have not entered it before, it doesn't show up, but it does recognize your IP. So that's what is support. Support will be basically dealing with, for example, today when you were logging into the class, you don't know where to click. Oh, where the class is, I'm not finding it. Support will definitely help there. Your Flash players, not installed, your video is not launching, you don't know what to do, although all the instructions are there on the website, and if you follow them you will be able to clear all the things. But if not, our support will try to help you. Okay, now many a times they do try to help stat. They may ask you for your phone number, they may call you and all that, but many a times they may not have a solution stat. In that particular case, they raise a request for you. And let me tell you, this follow-up is one of a very important process and very discussed and followed up process. So don't worry, we'll be still taken care of. Now that's what is support about, and be polite with the support, of course. I know you are, all of you are. That's one good thing about you. Okay, then we have our email. Now, if you have some concerns about your enrollment, about your queries which are to be dealt with, for example, support is definitely a mean. You can tell to the support, and support will raise a mail to something which is not in the hands of support. They will send a mail here, and with your request, with a copy of your chat and all that. But if you are requesting and directly something to aimmds@gmail.com, let me assure you, this is a very fast channel. and within 24 to 48 hours your request will be started to be worked upon. Rather, it will be taken care of, right? So, and as far as phone number is concerned, again, our phone is not with the faculty, it is with our one of our senior tech support member, but he is very well aware of most of the things. So you can leave your concerns about your admin and technological problem there, right? But my recommendation, if it's something very immediate on the website, you're not finding something, you're not able to launch something, ask the support. If the support is online, definitely ask the support. If the support is not online and not responding, do leave your email and your query. Immediately when the support comes back, he'll start working on the same thing, right? So it shouldn't happen that you say hi and then the support doesn't respond, and then you say, oh, you're not there, and you go away. When you go away and the support comes back after a minute, right, he feels, oh, you lost, and we are not able to do anything because we don't even have your email, isn't it? So whenever you feel that support is not responding, it may be just a matter of 1 minute, 2 minutes, because there are sometimes multiple chats going on, isn't it? So just leave your email and your query there, or if not, drop an email to aimmds@gmail.com. So that whole network is working fine, it works fine and it is taken care of. Now, although our students know our faculties are very accessible, you can just leave a message, you can talk, you can you can see this particular platform itself is very interactive. When we talk in the class, it's like we are sitting in front of each other. Those new, you'll slowly get so accustomed with the chat, that I'll be like, okay, stop chatting now, let me teach. It's like that. So ultimately you'll be very comfortable with the platform. And as far as this year we have thought that we will actually assign you an official mentor. So when you join, we'll be actually having, we have 3 full-time faculty. Other faculties are visiting. We'll not be, leaving you in the hand of other faculties. So we'll be giving you a full-time a mentor, with whom you can actually discuss, okay, ma'am, I completed this much portion, and I couldn't complete that much portion. So it's just a word of, what happens when you're reporting to someone, you feel a little bit, responsible. Okay, I'm supposed to answer ma'am. What will she think if I don't send her a mail on Saturday that what did I do this week? So that's what I thought we'll have, a mentor assigned this year. Although till now, again, we were very accessible to our students. They could write us this kind of mail definitely, isn't it? So, and any mail, sometimes you're feeling low, you're feeling down, you don't want to talk to all other batchmates, you want to talk to the faculty. Okay, ma'am, I feel depressed, I don't feel like I'm able to complete this much portion. That's fine, you can talk to us, okay? And yes, many times we feel that, okay, but bona tha, we told you long back to start with it and all that. But see, what happens is that we told you, or you should have done that, is something gone already. Our total aim will be what we can do now, how we can solve the things now. It's always the approach is what has gone bad is something not rectifiable. But yes, what can be done or what can be corrected is definitely possible. And that's what is the approach of all of us. So don't worry about that. And if you have a particular mentor and you want to approach the other faculty, that doesn't mean that your doors are shut. You can still approach all the faculties. We'll be trying this out this year so that you are responsible and answerable to a particular person regarding your progress, right? And probably you can, people can plan out and, discuss the things. It will work out. I hope so, right? Again, it's not a forced one. This is an added benefit, so it will be voluntarily. Whomsoever wants to take up, whomsoever doesn't want to discuss with the faculties, they are fine on their own. We'll not be forcing the things onto them, of course. Okay. Now I was talking about this tips and tricks video wherein I have elaborately discussed about how to mark, how to read, how to read. When you read, what to focus on, and how to make a sticky and everything in very much details. So when you actually go log into your account, you will see a button called as recorded classes. Okay, this is our basic main library. When you go into recorded classes, look for the subject that says Z tips and tricks. When you click on this subject, Z tips and tricks, you get two videos, the planner part 1 and the planner part 2. Okay, this is where it is elaborately discussed. I was talking about, see, the time of a particular video. You will see it here, the timing, how much time a particular video takes is exactly mentioned here. So you all know how much time, you will need to watch or complete this video. Same happens with your theory classes. You exactly know how much time it's gonna take for you to complete this particular video portion. Yeah, other thing is, yeah, you pausing and rewinding, that is one more thing. Yeah, definitely if something you miss, suddenly you are watching something, you feel, oh, I want to hear that again. You have a remote for your faculties, you can just rewind and watch the faculty again, talking it again. So that's one good thing about recordings. I like that. Okay, yeah, you can pause the faculties during the live session. You can say, as our students have been doing, that ma'am, will you please repeat? Ma'am, will you please tell that again? Yeah, or can you explain in some other words? You're not being clear. Okay, so all that is possible even in the live classes and definitely in the recording classes as well. There is one more advantage in the recorded classes. Advantage is that, oh, I know this, ma'am, stop talking about it. Go ahead, go to the next part. You can forward it too. Okay, for example, I'm talking about muscles of mastication. Out of 20 students, maybe 10 are very familiar and very well versed with the muscles of mastication, but other 10 are not. I will definitely cover that portion, isn't it? I have to, for those 10. But those 10 who know it can actually skip that portion and go to the next portion, and can say that that's one advantage I find with the recorded classes. Right? But as far as MCQ based discussion, retrospective discussion classes like the revision classes and the discussion classes, the pre-test classes, I feel the live is better. Because therein we put up a question, your brain starts working, thinking of an answer, you write an answer, and then when we start discussing about what you thought, and you think, oh, I was thinking this wrong, oh, I should have, oh yeah, ma'am, I just got confused, or something like that happens. So that thing is very beneficial for you to retain stuff. So as far as discussion, MCQ based discussion classes, revision classes, live is better. As far as theory classes, it's up to you. If you find comfortable chatting while, you're listening to the theory and all that, it's fine. But otherwise, the recorded and the live classes are equally beneficial as far as theory classes are concerned. I myself go in the favor of recorded versions, right? So that's how the things go. And, after that, guys, for those who are at the end of, their preparation talks, who are having their exams upcoming, there's one more session, how to use your last 3 months. I don't know if it's there in the recorded classes or not. I think so, it's there. Even that gives you the last minute coverage of how to deal with that and all that. Alright? Now, for those who are new, I have just gross view of how to use the resources. Most of the things I had been discussing before, but I'll tell you something about the forum, right? So, yeah, you all know how to log in because you all have logged in and come into the class. So, this is a login screen. You have some links over here. After this, there is a link called as FAQs. And this FAQs is especially important for those who have either joined new or are planning to join. Okay, so we do recommend just read the FAQs. It does give us a lot of things over here, right? Now, discussion forum link is over here. As I already told, there is also a link of 2 schedules. Let me see if I have that snapshot. Okay, this is a login link of your aimmds.com. Now you'll see why we have 2 different login links. Let me tell you, both of them nearly inside is same. They are the 2 different websites. They are right now only our recordings are the ones which are hosted common. All the other things are hosted separately so that if one goes down, you have other website as a backup. Because ultimately servers do go for maintenance. Although they don't go for very long time, people who have experienced online classes before, they do know, that it doesn't go off for very long time. Our sites are not just closed for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days like that. We do start working on it immediately. Our tech team does work on it immediately as the site goes down, right? So that's not a major problem with us, and there's only one thing, the recordings which are hosted on a common server. So whenever even one site goes down, our recordings are down, but we are working on shifting it to the 2 different servers. So very soon we'll have that backup too. But till now we haven't faced much problem because of that. Okay, so that's one thing about these 2 sites. Now when we go in, you have these 2 tabs. One is virtual class and one is recorded classes. Okay, we also have a tab called as videos. I'll be telling about this to you in a while. When we talk about the virtual classes, this is a portion where your live classes are scheduled, right? So live classes go under a particular series. So if you just suddenly open, the virtual class under NVD sets or something, you will not find a live class there. You will have to look it under a particular correct series, right? So if you are AIMMDS Plus or comprehensive student, most commonly you have to look under that particular series and you will find your link. Now when you actually open the virtual class, this is how you see the class. You would have, come in today, so that must be familiar. You also see the list of recordings here. What are these? Now these are raw recordings. Raw recordings means when actually I'm taking class right now, I'm taking session right now, this is getting recorded. This gets recorded, rendered automatically, it comes here where you are right now watching it in this screen. Today's class will come under miscellaneous, it will come under miscellaneous. You see the 26. Whatever was the name of the class given today, the orientation 2013-14, as you see, it will come as the same name, same time, and nothing will be edited or anything, exact same, right? So this comes automatically 24 hours after the session. Session ends and exactly 24 hours after that it comes automatically online, right? Now the thing is that we felt last year these recordings are flash based. Okay, they have a very high resolution. They have exactly how you're seeing it right now. It plays exactly the same, but the problem are they are quite heavy. They need a high speed internet connection. Okay, as soon as the internet connection quality goes a little bit down, and they're not very easy to go forward and rewind. Okay, so a student did face trouble in the beginning. They said, no, it's difficult to deal with these videos. So we started converting these videos and putting them topic wise in the recorded classes zone. Right? So that was a big venture taken up in 2012-13. So what we have now is one more button here, recorded classes. Now when you go inside the recorded classes, you get a list of subjects, So right now this is a snapshot of 2012-13. So you see all the subjects. When you start with 2013-14, you will see the subjects that are being dealt in the class. So whatever classes are assigned, only those subjects will come online, isn't it? So when you click inside those subjects, you see that this is how now the topics are split. So the whole class is, re-recorded, re-edited totally, broken down into pieces, topic-wise, whatever the possible topic-wise the faculty would have covered, and then it is uploaded over here. Then you can watch it. And these are the fast-moving videos. You can forward it easily, you can rewind it easily, and I think so they are pretty handy. Okay, so this is how it looks from inside. Okay, and we do have a blog where sometimes, it's just some words of instruction, some words of motivation which keep coming there, so whenever we have something posted here, you do get a message, you do get alerts and all that, so you can watch that. There's nothing like official put on the blog usually. It's a casual, things coming from the faculties usually. Right? So this is a blog and this is the forum. Okay, this is a very important portion, I feel. This is where you put all your doubts. Okay, and there is this current discussion and solved question zone. Although we faculties are supposed to move the solved question from here to here, we have not been doing that very often. Most of the data is still inside the current discussion. So most of the things you'll find it inside the current discussion, but most of them would be answered. We do keep answering them. Now, how do we navigate? You usually click on view active topics or view new posts to look into the new post. So whenever you have something unread, you see it in red color, right? And yeah, whenever you have posted something, you see a star here that tells that this is a thread you had been involved in, right? So, and then you see the replies and all that. There is one particular nice thing, if you people use it or not, I don't know. But there is thing that you can bookmark a topic. For example, you like a particular discussion, you feel you want to watch, look at this particular discussion later in your study time or something. Okay, you bookmark it. Okay, what happens when you bookmark? When you actually bookmark, you have a user control panel at the top. When you're logged in, you have a user control panel. When you click on that, there is a manage bookmark. Okay, so whatever you have bookmarked threads, they come here. So you can easily, you don't have to keep searching those threads later. So they are there, something nice discussion, a nice thread, you can bookmark it, keep it in your bookmark. Okay, you can read it and you want to remove it from your bookmark, you can remove it from your bookmark. So you can actually, remove the bookmarks, add the bookmarks like that. So it's a nice, handy, organized forum. I use it a lot. For example, whenever I land up with some, now as far as me concerned, what I bookmark is, I bookmark some questions which I am still to work on. I have some question posted by some students which I'm not satisfied with what information I have. I have to work on finding more information, discussing with other faculties and all that. In that particular case, many times I bookmark and then I reply it later and all that. So that is what I use it for, but you can use it for your reference purposes, right? This is definitely a very nice thing. So use it. Okay, so is there anything else or any doubts with anything I've missed or something about the website? Yeah, videos. I wanted to talk about the videos, right? Now, videos is, let me just go back. I don't know where it is. Yeah, this particular button you would see actually. Now, what happens is, sometimes I do make some videos. That's mostly my videos under the video zone. There's nobody else doing that. So we don't have a whole list of all of videos because it takes a lot of time to make a 15 minutes video. I take around 3 to 4 hours, right? Because it takes a lot of time. So, but there are some nice topics which I feel they need, short or concise description. For example, cell cycle, something of the way. For example, sometimes occlusion I have. Implants, something like all these videos are put up here. So as and when I feel, okay, an interesting topic, I do make a video and I do put it. This year I have not been doing much, but hopefully, as soon as the revision batch goes on, I'll be making a few more. And whenever a new video is put up here, it is messaged and emailed to you. So you will be knowing it. Right? And there are some more videos which are put up on the YouTube channel and all that. Most of those videos are quite accessible to everybody. Okay. Now, when we actually look at the schedule part, you will notice that under schedules and tests in aimmds.org, you have all the timetables, test series, right? Regarding your virtual classes, as I told, we have built up a new messaging system that will be in your account. Right, that will give you the portions and give you the upcoming class. Alright, it will also mention there the class is for which series and the things. So we are hoping that this messaging system will be very handy as far as the timetable and alerts are concerned. And I'm sure students usually spend a lot of time on the website because of the videos and the classes and all that, and a lot of fruitful time, I hope, on the website. As far as checklist for the new students, cross-check for the list of series that you have in your account. You can write a mail to aimmds@gmail.com that I have following series in my account. I have registered for so-and-so series. Is that correct or am I missing anything? So we'll run a cross-check for your account so that there is nothing missing in your account. Okay? But that doesn't matter even if you realize sometime later in the series, we do cross-check that time. So it's not that if you don't do this, we'll not give you the series you are enrolled for later or something like that. But something you shouldn't be missing. So it's just a cross-check. Okay? Forum login. When you actually register as a premium member, your login account is created by the tech team. There is no direct registration onto the forum. Nobody outsider can register onto the forum. Okay, so a forum login is created by the tech team. So just log in once and see whether you are able to log in and able to use your user control panel. Make sure you are receiving SMS. Okay. Okay guys, give me a second. I'll just pause and I'll be back. Okay. And as far as prospective students, we do recommend you to take a trial. Okay, before you join, do take a trial. Know what you are joining. Don't join if you don't know what you are joining. Okay, so take a trial, look at the things properly, evaluate, join only if you like, right? Because it's your decision. You should know whether it benefits you and all that. Then only you can join. Ask the differences between the courses. Nobody will be, getting angry and why you are asking so much. You are welcome to ask how much ever you want to ask. You have to, if you want something in written, in emails and all that, feel free to ask that. Send me what you have just told me in an email. Okay, so feel free to ask that, because all these things are usually, you have those things in record, so it's easy for you to communicate back later that, okay, you told me like this and all that. So all those things, do ask the difference, and whatever you want to ask, you can ask on email. Yes, you can ask on phone, but you can confirm on email. That comes out a pretty bit more handy, right? Read FAQs. Please read FAQs. Most of the details are there. Okay, and if something's not answered there, feel free to ask. Mail us, right? Check the system requirement. That's something very genuine. Okay, we say we do require more than 1 Mbps speed. That's, I know when you actually take a trial, your classes will work at 512 kbps also. It will also work on, what is that below that, 200 and something kbps also. Then you'll say, chalta to hai, it's okay, fine. And then, later the videos start playing slow and all that. At that particular time, you feel, abhi to chal nahi raha. Yes, we require more than 1 Mbps speed, and that is mentioned in the system check under the FAQ. So do a system check. If you are uncomfortable doing a system check or something, if you feel you don't know whether it's really matching or something, feel free to ask. Our tech team will definitely help you. Yes, and we do help, even after the things, after you join, you feel the system's creating some trouble, but still our tech team helps. It doesn't happen that, oh, you didn't ask before you join, now you don't help. It doesn't happen that way. They just go out of the way. Many a times they use the desktop sharing software to help you out, so they do go out of the way to help you, even if you face the trouble later. But we do recommend that check your things, whatever are required. Before joining, it's easy for you. It doesn't cause you agony and all that, right? So that's what I had for you all. So is there anything, any doubts, any concerns, or any questions for me regarding the process, the resources, or anything? Yeah, yeah, I was expecting a neat question. Actually, I was expecting it from the beginning. But anyways, now as far as NEET PG dates, we don't have dates, right? NEET PG will be conducted by AIMMDS. That's what we have for now. Now, NEET PG being converted by National Board, NBE for PG Medical. Okay, but AIMMDS conducting for dental is one big dilemma, that we don't even know whether we can rely on what they have given for PG Medical. Will that apply for AIMMDS dental? So I know it's quite a bit of dilemma right now with respect to dates, with respect to how it will be conducted, isn't it? But yes, it's a dilemma and we cannot comment on that till we have the dates from them. Now, considering that they have not given forms yet, whenever they give form, they should at least give one and a quarter month at least for students to fill the form and do the formalities. So, whenever the dates come from that day, I think you should be having 1.5 months at least. That's my assumption. But officially, yeah, no dates yet. Right? And I've been studying, the NEET for PG medical a lot. I have just gone through their patterns and, expecting how it may come up to. Yeah, it may come up to having a prometric system, and which is a very well-known system, though for, for national board examination abroad, it's being used. So let me tell you, it's not gonna create much of stress for you all. It's gonna be comparatively fine. So let's see, as the notice comes up, we'll work on it, isn't it? And as far as people who are actually appearing for 2013-14, hopefully the things are really clear by that time. For people who are appearing for 2012-13, the easiest way to deal with NEET right now is don't bother about it. Okay, no, Aditi, classes are starting next week. Okay, as I told, we have started a messaging system. So really actually this has been developed by the tech team yesterday. It will be implemented in the website today. So I don't know if you have it in your account, but when you log in, after you log in, on your left hand side, in org I think so they would have put it. On your left hand side, just click on a button that says either alert or messages. There is one first test message that has been put of orientation. So just try that in your accounts. Right now it should be available in free and paid both accounts. Even I am supposed to try it. Okay. So that's why I'm not able to even, that's why the snapshot is not there on my PPT also, because it's a new messaging system. It's been there. Okay. So I feel, what we are trying to do is, rather than putting the message somewhere else or something else, we want the message to be in your account. And for example, somebody joins after 2 classes, 3 classes, he knows how exactly he has to go through, how exactly he has to follow up. So, so we are starting the classes for 2013-14 next week. So it's not more than 5 days gap. So you'll receive a message mostly tomorrow in your accounts. Okay, and it's a very thorough discussion class. You'll be given the portion to be covered and all that. So, yeah, and I really think it's gonna work out pretty good. Okay, is there anything else? Any concerns, any doubts? You can also ask me regarding, anything about correspondence or test series or the sequence, or if you have any concerns, feel free to ask me. Okay guys, regarding Prometric is a software, Saida. Prometric is a software system. Okay, now let me tell you what exactly happens there is, you have your question screen. It's very much like your online exam, how you play, right? There is a next button, there is a previous button. Okay, next, previous. Actually, you can go to prometric.com and you can see their sample. Okay, there is one button that says mark, and there is one button that says review. Okay, so you have a question, your MCQ, then you just tick mark it, click it, and then you just go to the next question. The same way, the way you are been giving the online test. Now, all your tests coming onto the online platform, you have, whatever practice you have done with your online thing, it will really work out good, because, you'll at least be comfortable handling the things. You'll not feel panicky suddenly, whoever has practiced on paper and coming onto the screen, it may be, but you people have been practicing the online tests, it wouldn't be that difficult, isn't it? Same way right now when we talk about our online examination, whenever you mark something, it becomes red and all that. Similarly, in the review here, it shows whenever it is marked or something. No problem, Anil, no problem. Actually, I had been talking about most of the things which you all know. I don't think so this was as that fine. Okay, at the end probably I'll also, for those who are fine, yes, that's a good question. As far as prometric system is concerned, you know what, Aditi, till now, whatever all the systems, for example, national boards and other things, you are allowed to change your answers. Okay. Now, for me, I feel it's one of the wrong thing. It's one of the distractions, but still, that is one good thing. Suddenly, you feel that you are allowed to change your answers. Secondly, probably there would be no negative marking, hopefully. I mean, if it goes exactly on the grounds how the PG medical has gone, there should be no negative markings, right? And you should be judged based on the scaling system. Okay, now how the scaling system works is, now this is my guesses, okay, right now we don't have official things out for the dental. Okay, this is for the medical, whatever they have declared that we have. Okay, that is the reason I have not been talking much about it. Because ultimately what will matter is your general preparation. Let me tell you, the best approach to go with the NEET 2012-13 is don't change the approach. Whatever you're doing, go ahead that way, concentrate on your revisions, on your concept coverage, relax, and that will give you the best performance right now. Because more you try to, because whatever you try to mend up with your preparation strategy, it will just take your time, it will just distract you, and it will not do anything good. Okay, so right now for the running back, the approach is that for 2013-14 definitely we'll have the data. Till the time we are coming closer to NEET, we'll have the data, so no need to worry for you guys. So anyways, there's never a need to worry. As always I say, so there's always a way out. There's always good in something that's happening. Okay, so maybe whatever is happening is for your good, so just be happy, okay, and keep doing whatever you are doing. It will work out good at the end, isn't it? It will. In prometric system, whatever they are using for medical side, they'll be using the scaled ranking system, wherein, for example, one question you mark it right, and 99% of people have marked it right. Okay, that particular question will have less weightage as compared to a question that you marked right, but most of the other people did not mark right. So that doesn't mean you on purpose, just concentrate on the hard questions itself, but overall it doesn't change anything. It changes the marking pattern. Basically, why the scaling system is done? The scaling system is done because you will not be taking exam on the same day. Everybody will be getting a different set, different questions. So if everybody is getting a different question, how do we maintain the equality of marks, isn't it? To maintain the equality of marks, this is a proven system. This is actually proven by research, and all the GRE and GMAT and national boards and USMLE, they use this system because people are giving exams on different dates. So that's just actually to combat those differences created by appearing the exams on the different dates. So you don't exactly have to change your preparation because of the scaling system. You get that point? So don't get into the rumors and discussions of how the paper will be. If you get hard paper, you get more marks. You get easy paper, you get less marks. Don't get into all those discussions. That all whatever will be used will be proven technologies. You can rely on those. Okay. So don't worry about all those things. Just concentrate on your preparation and just practice a little bit of online exams, isn't it? So that so that at least you are able to move the mouse in the right circle. You don't happen there and struggling with the mouse not moving at the right place. You want to mark B and it's going to C, and that's gonna be tough then. Well, hope it's not gonna be that bad. Don't worry, it's an easy system. They have worked it out even that way, that they have made it easy. Okay, is there anything else, guys? We have, okay, our next revision discussion batch, we have physio and biochem coming up on Thursday, and after that we have NEET, that is for all the batches, right? The AIMMDS Plus and all the batches. In the NEET discussion, I have marked up two of the topics. AIMMDS mark, yes. AIMMDS mark is actually by, I don't know, it's not by me, but I'll be taking a small share of your class in between to discuss some of the questions of your, which are marked on the forum, that I want to discuss those questions in the class, right? So we'll discuss those questions in the class, and I've got some more new nice questions, so we'll discuss those few questions. So I'll take some portion of your class. Okay, so any other concerns, any other things? All good? So if all is clear, probably, I'll end the session, and yeah, all the best, guys, and I know, you all can do it. So go ahead, give in your best. All the best. Okay? Bye.